In a time long past, in the ancient lands of Judea, there arose a tale of courage, faith, and destiny that would echo through the ages. This is the story of David and Goliath. In the days when Saul reigned as the king of Israel, the Hebrew people found themselves locked in a bitter conflict with the Philistines, a fierce and powerful enemy. The battlefield lay in the valley of Elah, where the armies faced each other, waiting for the first move. Within the ranks of the Philistines there stood a giant of a man named Goliath. Towering over his peers at 6 cubits and a span, he was a warrior of fearsome countenance, clad from head to toe in bronze armor that glittered menacingly under the oppressive sun. His voice, rough as the gravelly earth, echoed across the valley as he issued a daily challenge to the Israelites. 40 days and nights he bellowed, demanding a single combat champion to settle the conflict. Yet none dared answer his call. The Israelites quaked in fear, for Goliath was unmatched in might, and his defeat seemed an impossible dream. In this atmosphere of dread and despair, stepping forth from anonymity and obscurity was a young shepherd named David. The youngest of his father Jesse's sons, David had been sent to the battlefield to bring provisions for his brothers. Upon arrival, he beheld the taunts of Goliath and the fear that had paralyzed the camp of Israel. David's heart, unburdened by fear and filled with faith in the God of Israel, burned with righteous fury. Approaching King Saul, he volunteered himself to face the giant. Though initially met with doubt and skepticism due to his youth and lack of battle experience, David's unwavering faith and compelling zeal convinced the king. Refusing the heavy armor and weapons of war that Saul offered, David chose instead the simple tools of his life as a shepherd: a staff, his sling, and 5 smooth stones gathered from the brook that whispered through the valley. Amidst the jeers of soldiers and the disbelieving gazes of the crowd, David stepped onto the battlefield. Goliath, disdainful and mocking, sought to terrify the young shepherd with words of scorn and disdain. But David's resolve was unshaken. He spoke boldly, proclaiming that though Goliath came armed with a sword and spear, he confronted him armed with the power of the Lord of hosts. As battle was joined, the giant loomed large, his shadow casting over David as he moved to strike. But with the quickness and precision born of youthful agility and divine guidance, David took a stone, set it in a sling, and whirled it through the air. The stone flew true, striking Goliath on the forehead with such force that the mighty Philistine champion fell upon the earth. The ground seemed to tremble as the astonished Philistine army beheld their champion's defeat. Fear seized them, and they fled under the triumphant cries of the Israelites, who now surged forward.